So what we need to cover here is superposition theorem and the applicable circuits, current division and voltage division, and the application of superposition theorem. Now, remember what I said to you guys, keep both or all three types of theorems separate from each other. So in your mind, you've got to separate all three. Otherwise, you start to mix up the various threes because there are similarities and then there are not similarities. So make sure you make the clear, distinct difference between all three. Okay. So let's go into it. Superposition theorem states that when supplies are considered by themselves, all the current magnitudes and current directions can be determined. When the supply is considered by itself, make use of Ohm's law. Okay. Right, so we first come to current division. Current coming in a point splits up. Okay, so we can see that the current coming into that point splits up. We get these formulas here. If I'm wanting to calculate I1, I've got R2 over R1 plus R2 times the I total. Now, I always ask the guys, how do we come up with a formula like that? This is taken from Ohm's laws, okay? So how do I know it's from Ohm's laws? Because if I go into Ohm's laws, I can get back to this particular formula. How do I calculate I1? So let's go through that formula quickly so that I can show you guys quickly and then so back engineer it. Yeah, I1 we would basically have to get our V parallel and divide by R1. Do you guys agree with that? Jawohl. 9. All right, sweet like lemons. Okay, so we have to take the parallel voltage and divide it by R1 just to get to I1. Now, how would I get to I total? I would have to get a parallel resistance total first. So we'll then take either a voltage total divided by a, sorry, not a V. I would divide it by the R total or R parallel. So V parallel divided by R parallel should actually give us an I total. Okay. So now, how do I get to R parallel? R parallel, we would generally have the 1 over R1 plus 1 over R2, but we are now inverting already. So it works out to be R1 times R2 over R1 plus R2. Okay, so those are the basic rules, you could say. Okay. In this case here, I can now substitute that value into R parallel, into I total there. So I total is equal to V parallel over R parallel value, R1, times R2 over R1 plus R2. Okay. Now if I want to try and calculate V parallel, I'm going to multiply that by your R parallel, okay, which that's going to just take very, very long. So I'm going to quickly just put it on the side here. So it would be then calculating to I total times R1 times R2 over R1 plus R2, which will equal V parallel. However, if I come to this particular formula, V parallel is equal to I1 times R1. I'm going to substitute that into this one here. So I've got, I'm going to just take that out there. Instead of V parallel, we're going to then substitute that in there. I1 times R1. I want I1 by itself. I divide by R1. And I'd say times by 1 over R1. Okay, it's not wanting me to do that. Add the toolbar. There we go. And the R1s cancel. And therefore I've got I total. So R1s cancel there. I1 is equal to I total times by R2 over R1 plus R2. That's where we get the formula from. So you guys can see it is through Ohm's laws. So I'm utilizing Ohm's laws with superposition theorem. Okay. All right. I hope that makes a lot of sense how we actually get to it. It's very simplex. It's not too complex. It makes a lot of sense. I hope you guys are understanding it. Now, that's the current. So if I'm wanting to calculate I1, I can say R2 over R1 plus R2 times I total. If I'm wanting to calculate I2, R1 over R1 plus R2 times I total. Okay. The voltage division in a series circuit voltage divides. So there's voltage drops over each resistor, V1 and V2. We've got current total going through R1 and R2. Okay. And we come up with the formula V1. Now take note, V1 is equal to R1 over R1 plus R2 times V supply. Okay. The supply voltage. Right. Would you guys want me to go through the background, how to get to that or not? Just let me know. All right. So you think you understand. Awesome. So Dylan thinks he's understanding it. Maybe. All right. And everyone else is sleeping. All good. Brilliant. If you look at this particular formula, I need you guys to take note. R1, V1, V supply. If you look at this formula here, I1, R2, I total. Okay, so there's a difference between those formulas. A lot of the time what the students do is they say V1 is equal to R2 of R, and then it's wrong. Okay, so it has to be R1 over R1 plus R2. You did the same formula in N2. Yes. Okay, so awesome. Right. So now that you guys are on par, let us go into how this actually looks as well. So there's also a voltage here, voltage dividing, V1 and V2. So you will take note, this is through Ohm's law that we do those calculations. Now, why would they bring in these calculations? Is to simplify having to do a circuit like this down to, trying to get it done a lot faster. Okay. So the steps to solving superposition theorem. What we need to do is we short circuit one of the voltage sources if there are two voltage sources. If there are three voltage sources, you short circuit two of the voltage sources, and so on and so forth. Why do we do that? It's because we are going to be using Ohm's law in order to calculate currents. So I'm going to short circuit this V2's value, so put a line directly across it, and I'm going to ignore that voltage source is even there. So what I tend to do, and I tell the students, is redraw the circuit. Make sure to redraw the circuit. Don't just try to do it straightforward. Redraw your circuit. Okay. If you don't redraw the circuit, a lot of the time the guys, they get confused, and then the answers, and it's just like one little portion of the one little answer is wrong, and then you get like what, 7 marks deducted. It's absolutely crazy. So yeah, please don't make that mistake. Remember, out in the field, if you are going to make a mistake like that, that could be the difference between a bomb going off, or the difference between someone's life being taken, or many lives being taken. Okay, so a calculation can mean that difference. It's quite hectic. Okay, so when we short circuit here, we can then calculate the total resistance of the circuit. Short circuiting that means that the 10 ohm and the 20 ohm are in parallel. Why? Because the current total that comes in here now splits. So I can call that one I1 and I2. As you can see, this is straightforward Ohm's laws. Okay, calculate the currents in that circuit, then repeat the steps once short circuiting the second voltage and placing your second voltage in. So once we've got that, we have to calculate, let's say I1, I2, and I total. I then take out everything here, so you know that that's I1, I2, and I total. I place back, I take that line out, and I then short circuit this side. Now the current, this is I total 2, okay? This one is I3, that one's I4, okay? I calculate those values by, so it's a different circuit. That's what I'm stating to you guys. We are working it out like it's a completely different circuit. Then once I have gone through that circuit and calculated everything, I make sure that that is back in place. I then place back, this is called superimposing. Current total there, this one was I1. That one that went through that way was I2. I place those values in. If you notice that the currents are traveling in opposite directions in some cases or towards each other, and in other cases they are flowing together. So the current through the 20 ohm, we calculate I3 plus I2. The current in the 10 ohm, we calculate I1 minus IT2. Current in the 5 ohm, we say IT minus I4. Now here's the trick. Let's say, for instance, we calculate a negative current. We know then that the current change is in the direction of the value, like the IT2. Let's say, for instance, IT2 is a greater value and I1 is a lesser value. Then I know that the current is traveling in IT2's direction. If the current is greater for IT, then then it would be also, that one will be a positive. So we would then know that it is going in that direction. Okay. Do you guys understand how this is calculated? Does it make sense? All right. So we can get stuck into the various calculations here. Okay. So the first thing is first, I short circuit the one side. Is the 10 ohm and the 20 ohm. I can now calculate the total resistance. Okay, so here's the parallel. So 10 times 20 over 10 plus 20. Then I add the 5 ohms in order to give me 11.667. I actually prefer it when I'm doing a calculation to actually segregate. So separate the two. So in other words, calculate R parallel first, then our total second, and this is for the circuit A, the A circuit. Okay, this is circuit number A. Then from there, I take the voltage to calculate I total A. Say 15 divided by 11.667. That gives me 1.286 amps. That's for ITA. And then I calculate I1 and I2. So I'm using the formula. I say for I1, 20 over 10 plus 20 times 1.286. That gives me 0.857. Guys, if you are battling to understand or you're not too sure about the formula, my suggestion is revert back to Ohm's law. And that's why I state, calculate the parallel circuit separately so that you can then take the total current, multiply that by the parallel resistance, the parallel total resistance, and then you calculate what is the voltage drop directly over the 10 ohm and the 20 ohm. Then you can calculate separately the I1 and I2. Okay, so we calculate I2 then to become 0.429 amps. All right, next, I short circuit the 15 volts and bring back the 20 volts and do the same. So RTB, So this is the B circuit. I then place the 5 ohm and 20 ohm. I can see that they are in parallel. So 5 times 20 over 5 plus 20. Add the 10, that gives me 14 ohms. And I say 20 divided by 14 to get the total current, ITB, 1.429. I then take the I4 and I say 20 divided by 5 plus 20 times 1.429. And that then gives me a value of 1.143 amps. I3 value equals 5 divided by 5 plus 20 times 1.429. That gives me 0.286 amps. From there, I superimpose. So take the two circuit values, ITA, I4, I1, ITB, and I see the direction of the current flowing, and then I2 plus I3, and calculate accordingly. So I get to, with ITA minus I4, I get to 0.143 amps. ITB minus I1, I get to 0.572 amps. Then I2 plus I3, 0.715 amps. And those calculations are then correct. Okay, do you guys understand what's happening here? It's quite simplex, but at the same time with the superposition, like superimposing, it actually makes a lot of sense. Okay, brilliant. Okay, so activity number 1, you can see it's similar to what I gave you guys on the other slideshows. I would like you guys to go through that. Activity number 2, activity number 3. The only difference with activity number 3 is we can draw a line directly across here to show the common value there. This is earthed on that side there, but that's the earth symbol. But you can draw a line directly across so as to not confuse you, so that just to say that it is a common point. Okay. Right, so that then concludes on the lesson. I'd like to, you guys, I'm going to give you the rest of the time. So over here, I think it's about 12 o'clock when our lights are going to go out, and then it's going to take me about 10 minutes to get back up and running. So I'm going to give you that time, the time available now, and we can then also then look at these various activities. Okay, sure, Dick. Okay, let me just make that available. There we go. All right, guys, let's get to work and let's try and get through it. At least activity 1, if we can get through activity 1. Remember, the 8 ohm and the 9 ohm are in series to each other. Okay, the 7 ohm and the 4 ohm are in series to each other. The reason why I bring this one in is because the guys get confused between what is parallel and what is in series. Remember, the current that flows through that 8 ohm and the 9 ohm is the same current. It's the same current that goes through that. The difference comes in when there's current going through RL. Okay. The 4 ohm and the 7 ohm, that's the same current going through there. So we know that those values will then be like the 7 ohm and 4 ohm. We can then make one resistor value of 11 ohm and one resistor value of 17 ohm for the updated circuit. Okay. Okay, how's it, guys? We've got load shedding as well. So you guys have got the activities that you need to complete. So each of the activities within the superposition theorem. Enjoy, and I will see you guys tomorrow. All right. Cheers, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Ciao, guys. Adios, amigos. Ciao.